If you change the rules of what controls you, you will change the rules of what you can control. Hello, I'm Eric Thompson, and maybe you're at a moment in your life and you're trying to change for the better, but you're just not getting quite there. Or maybe you think that you've just tried everything and you realize that something stronger, something deeper than you is holding you back. But what could be stronger than you? Why do you keep repeating the same mistakes and the same patterns? And how do you get rid of the pitfalls of your mind? I mean, your mind can be your enemy. Now, this is not another system. This is not another way of doing the same thing. Systems, they usually treat the symptoms. You are going to learn something deeper. You're going to learn something that's causing all of this so that you don't need another system and you don't need another technique. And I know you're probably thinking, this is way too good to be true and you've tried everything already. But what if you could know exactly what's keeping you from everything that you want? From money, from your dream job, from your love, from your relationship, accomplishing your projects, and really finally leverage your life to its best version. Have you noticed how many different types of gyms there are? I mean, there's CrossFit, there's Pilates, there's weight training, and how many diets are there? I mean, ketogenic, paleo, low carb, just to name a few. And how many courses also promise you personal achievement and success? And I know you don't lack desire, you probably don't lack commitment or even persistence, but no matter how good the technique is, you just can't lose weight, you can't get that dream body, and you can't just drop everything to open up that company of your dreams. So stick with me here for a second. So who is in charge of your life? How can you master what has really kept you from achieving all that you desire? In the class, Releasing Your Negative Emotions, that was developed by Ipsissimus Dave Lanyon, I'll show you how to understand this process and finally take control of your life. And you'll learn to perceive internally not only who's in charge, but to whom you must give attention. Believing only in your ability to create and accomplish your goals. Now, what do you mean, who's in charge of my life? And if I told you that 90% of the way that you live your life is just a reaction to the meaning that you give every situation, that 90% of the time you're not even aware of what you're doing, and most of the time you're living on autopilot. I'm going to show you how, and I'm going to show you why this happens. And I'm going to show you a way to get off the hamster wheel that makes you repeat patterns and habits that you no longer want in your life, and even some patterns that you don't even know that you have. So I want to show you how this is possible from this awareness to know which paths to take and how to get where you want to go. Knowledge that has been kept hidden from human history, and you're going to have the opportunity to know, not only understand, but to benefit from these teachings of wisdom and discernment, to make you the creator of your destiny, the life you always wanted to have. But now you must be wondering, how did I get here, and how did I help thousands of students in Brazil and abroad to change their lives and help so many people? Well, I'm Eric Thompson, and I was born in San Francisco. And in 2008, I used to work in Hollywood. I used to work in a sound studio, and I was surrounded by famous people all the time. John Travolta, Mel Gibson, Al Pacino. And I lived in this world of fantasies and illusions. And most people would consider it a successful life because I had the huge house, I had the car, I had the dream life, but I was really unhappy. I was living ups and downs. If everything was fine, I was good. If things weren't fine, I was terrible. And then I got so down in my life, I was at this really low point of my life that I decided I needed to change. I couldn't stand myself anymore. I was emotionally unstable. I was jealous. I was controlling. I was letting everything bother me, the government, politics. I couldn't stand to let anyone have a different opinion than mine. Everything irritated me, and I couldn't stand it anymore. And so I just used a lot of different means like drinking and drugs and compulsive shopping and travel to distract myself. And I was doing this just to escape my dissatisfaction. And then one day I was so down, I was so at the bottom of the pit that I remember I went to my room, I looked at the floor, and I sat there for hours, and I was deciding, I just can't do this anymore. People don't like me, I don't like myself, I keep blaming everyone for everything, and it was at that moment that I felt this feeling, felt this determination that I had to change. And I decided to do something about it. And I started paying attention to a part of me that I didn't know. You know, I was an engineer, I thought I wanted a quick solution, I was very rational and logical, and I really didn't want to spend years talking to psychologists about my problems. I mean, I would even say I was a skeptic. And, you know, I ended up trying something that was from one of those magazines with all those weird people, you know, that was like new agey thing, and telling me, you know, align my chakras and do all this kind of stuff. And, you know, but I was desperate and I wanted to do something. So I went to this place in Hollywood, actually in Century City, and the guy, you know, he attended me in a suit, and he told me that we were energy, and that if I worked on my energy, I could feel better. And I did the session with him, and I felt amazing. And then that led me to life activation, it led me to initiation, and led me to the Modern Mystery School. And then I began to like delve deeper into this mystery that's me. And then it was through all this various knowledge and all these tools of empowerment that I finally got to live the life that I wanted to live, and live the life that I am living today. And today I'm the president of the Modern Mystery School of South America. I teach internationally courses in Brazil, in Canada, the United States, Israel. I've helped thousands of people to escape the automatic, robotic world, this matrix that we live in, and to help create the life that they've always wanted to live. And, you know, there are many different technologies, there are courses, and so many techniques, and people tell you, promise you big things, you know, and how to get out of that. But I'm going to tell you something. It's really only your 100% conscious decision that can bring transformation. If not, it's just another technique. I mean, have you ever thought about your shadow? You have a shadow, but you're not your shadow. You probably have a car, but you're not your car. So it's with your mind. Wait, you have a mind, but you're not your mind. How many times has your mind told you things that weren't real? Like, you are not going to get that job, you're not capable. And then you went there and you got the job. Now I'm going to tell you something really big, huge. Your mind, it's always wrong. Always. Your mind is a lousy boss, but it's a great servant. I just love that phrase, you know. But you just have to put your mind in the right place. And why am I telling you all this? Because you can learn how to make your mind your ally in search of your best version, in search of the life that you always wanted. So I want to expose you to tools that'll be able to enable you to perceive and understand, well, more than understand, you know, agreeing to how your mind works and how the mind creates pitfalls for you to believe in. And often, it even makes you give up your biggest dreams and your biggest desires. Now I know you may be thinking this is way too strange, but stick with me for a second here and you'll understand. Well, you're not going to understand with your mind, that's for sure. Even the game of the mind is so strong, it's trying to convince you that everything I just told you is too complicated or too good to be true. It does not want to lose control of you. Or do you really think you have control of your mind? I mean, right now, it's probably telling you you do have control, but I'll prove it to you. Watch. Think of nothing. You can't. You're thinking of thinking about nothing. If you were in control, you could stop thinking, but you can't. The thoughts just keep coming in. So why can't you control them? Are you not in charge? Well, who is then? Well, now you understand a little bit of what you're up against. And in the class, Releasing Your Negative Emotions, I'll show you what you need to know to get out of the grip of your negative ego and finally live in control of your own destiny. But that's something we're going to talk about more in class, where I'll show you who your real opponent is in this game and how to get free of your negative emotions. This video is getting way too long, so we'll just leave the rest for the class. So click on the link somewhere below to sign up, and I really hope to see you there. Take care.